Firefighting in Canada this week is brought to you by VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. In this edition, BC is developing a new disaster task force to deploy extra resources and solutions during climate emergencies. And a new digital tool from the National Indigenous Fire Safety Council was designed to help communities better prepare for and manage wildland fire risk. Then, Ontario is investing $35 million in fire safety equipment for northern communities. British Columbia is forming a new disaster task force. The group will provide rapid response and support for communities facing climate emergencies. It would also advise on volunteer recruitment, work with First Nations and frontline workers, and ensure accessible support for evacuees with a focus on short-term financial needs and accommodation. The task force is expected to work with federal government disaster response programs and efforts. The government announcement comes during BC's worst wildfire season on record. BC Premier David Eby said communities must also be prepared for the risk of severe flooding this year. He stated, quote, "We owe it to all of those who fought the fires, left their homes behind, and opened their hearts to feed and house evacuees, to find ways to support them better as climate disasters get worse and more frequent. Details on structure, mandate, timeline, or membership have not yet been released." The National Indigenous Fire Safety Council created a new digital aid that is designed to help communities prepare for wildfires. The new Wildland Urban Interface Community Preparedness digital tool identifies 18 distinct roles within the community. Each role outlines what should be done before, during, and after a wildfire. Fire departments, wildland firefighters, paramedics, police, emergency operations, residents, and local leaders can access the tool from a cell phone or a desktop computer. The new platform is based on a study the NIFSC commissioned from the University of Waterloo. The goal was to review existing knowledge, resources, guidelines, practices, and management approaches to understand specific wildfire threats. They also wanted to develop a preliminary wildland urban interface fire safety and response network with best practices and implementation strategies. The digital aid is available at indigenousfiresafety.ca. Ontario is funneling money into northern communities for new firefighting equipment. $35 million will be invested in SCBA thermal imaging cameras, 2 mobile live fire training units, 17 fire trucks, and other gear. The money comes from the Northern Fire Protection Program, which supports fire protection services in 47 communities that rely on more than 800 volunteer firefighters. The mobile live fire training units are expected to help the Ontario Fire College deliver additional hands-on training. The modern mobile units can be transported to local fire stations and simulate real situations. Mobile live fire training units visited 46 locations across Ontario in 2022 and trained more than 3,000 firefighters, the province said. Thanks again to VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. Stay tuned for our next episode on Friday, September 29th.